All right, what's up? It is the eve of the Journeyman Collegiate duels. We're here in Nashville. We're in the hotel lobby. One day until it gets going, and both days are going to be amazing. But tomorrow, Kozak, potentially going to be starting with some history.
Yeah, Penn State has the opportunity to break a 74-year-old record, the dual streak record held by Oklahoma State from 1937 to 51. Penn State sits at 75 straight dual wins. If they get to 77, the record is theirs.
The record is theirs. And then tomorrow, they get started with North Dakota State, and then the second duel against Stanford. In that North Dakota State duel, what stands out to you there?
Yeah, I think it's North Dakota State's a scrappy squad, and Penn State's obviously going to be favored, but I'm interested to see how PJ Duke wrestles against an All-American, Gavin Drexler. We haven't seen him against an All-American in the collegiate season, so I'm really interested in that. And then also Rocco Welsh, he's wrestled some tight matches, and Aiden Bruneau is really good, and he was around at 12 last year, so I want to see if Rocco Welsh can kind of separate himself, get some offense going against a solid opponent.
No doubt about it. And then after that, Penn State going to be taking on Stanford. This is a dual meet rife with really, really exciting matches. 125, Luke Lillidahl versus Nico Provo. Provo looks solid at CKLV. At 33, for me, this might be the match I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
Tyler Knox versus Marcus Blaze. Knox has beaten some really good guys, beat Drake Ayala last year, an All-American, can really scramble. Are you giving Knox any shot there?
I think so. I think you have to give Knox a shot just because of the unique position that he's really good in. Maybe to be able to challenge some of the positions we haven't seen Marcus Blaze tested yet. I still favor, Marcus Blaze, but I'm really curious, and I think it's going to tell us a lot about who Marcus Blaze is this year at 133.
149, Shane Van Ness versus Aiden Valencia. Aiden, a guy whose talent has never been in question. Maybe his opportunity to get that first really big win in an NCAA competition.
Yeah, this is a match I was circling start of the year, and it's still really interesting. We haven't seen Van Ness tested, right, this year, and so I feel like if Van Ness is that clear Tier 1 title contender, this is going to tell us. And if Aiden Valencia is right there, it's going to tell us both either way. And so, it should be a battle. That one should be a war.
And then a real battle at 157, PJ Duke versus Daniel Cardenas. This is the opportunity for PJ to really shoot up the rankings. Cardenas is ranked 4th, an All-American 2 years ago, an absolute goer. And how does that match with PJ's style, which is ultra physical?
Yeah, and I feel like, that favors PJ Duke.
Yeah,
honestly, I feel like the more wrestling that happens will favor Duke. I don't think Cardenas has the style to slow PJ Duke down. Now, all that to say, Cardenas, he's a guy that has gone with the best of them at 57. He's beaten Myers Spyro multiple times. He's been, right there with everyone. So, it could be a really competitive match, but I do believe the PJ Duke hype.
Yeah, absolutely. 65, don't know if we'll see Garvin versus Messenbrink. If we do, that's exciting. But it sounds like Lorenzo Norman is going to be back for this matchup. Lorenzo Norman versus Levi Haynes. Norman's yet to earn that All-American status, but a lot of people think this could still be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, you think about Norman, and he's beaten Shane Griffith. He was so close to beating not only Dean Hamady, but also Keegan O'Toole last year. And okay, Levi Haynes lost to both of those wrestlers as well. So, you take a close loss, and does that translate to a win?
I don't know.
Not always. And what we saw from Levi Haynes, but it's still really interesting. And just some of the physical attributes of Lorenzo Norman, really long for the weight, is able to get to legs pretty frequently and finish. He's dangerous at 174.
He is. I could see him getting a takedown or so, but beating Levi Haynes, I don't know. Levi's looked as good as anyone in college wrestling this year. Now, 197, I'm not breaking news here, but I do think we're going to see Josh Barr for the first time all year. Coach Cale Sanderson said he's traveling with the team. We saw Connor Mirasola get injured in the Wyoming duel. It seems like all the stars are aligning to see Josh Barr's debut. For fans that maybe missed him last year, what does he bring to the mat, John?
He is I would say the title favorite, right? He is the title favorite, 197. He's a shooter. He can generate a whole lot of offense. And in the past, maybe before last year, sometimes that was to his detriment. But he has really honed in his craft of pressuring, hand fighting, using his physicality, and he's gonna set a really intense pace from start to finish. And Josh Barr, I'm really interested to see where he's at right now.
Yeah. Also tomorrow, it gets started at 3 o'clock Eastern. North Dakota State and Stanford are wrestling, and then Penn State finishes it up. That's a solid duel as well. They're got 4 ranked matchups there. I feel like 57 Cardenas versus Gavin Drexler. That's interesting, just as it pertains to the upcoming PJ Duke. As you know, if Cardenas comes out, smashes Drexler, then it's like, okay, maybe they're both really primed for that matchup. So you're not going to want to miss that one, but it goes down 3, 5, and 7, all live on FloWrestling. Or if you're in the Nashville area, you want to make the drive, Montgomery Bell Academy, be able to watch Saturday and Sunday. A great weekend of duels. Do you want to talk about the Sunday matchups?
Yeah, let's do it. They're great. They're
outstanding.
Potentially really fun, and a variety of matches that we haven't seen this year, and some guys maybe returning to the lineup from Cornell, which I'm really interested in.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Cornell versus Illinois going down at 2 o'clock Eastern. For me, if we see Cannon Webster versus Meyer Shapiro, that has match of the weekend potential. Just because you take Cannon's pace and his physicality and his attack rate versus the insanity that Meyer Shapiro brings. It's like there's a lot on the table there. Deep down, I favor Meyer, even if it's his first match back. I think he can win it. But Cannon Webster has looked like a freak this year.
Yeah, Cannon Webster, phenomenal. And for your first match back from Meyer Shapiro, maybe not the guy you'd be like, yeah, I want to wrestle this guy first. But we've seen what Meyer can do. Just his offensive scoring is as good as anybody in the country.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I hope we see that.
Me
one.
too,
Yeah.
absolutely. Tyler Ferreira's kind of a scrapper for Cornell. I'm not sure what 33 is going to be for Cornell, but Ferreira's in that competition right now. He looks tough. He'll take on Lucas Bird, who has looked like a dog start to finish this year. Anything else standing out? I mean, we'll get to watch Jackson Joy again. That was fun at Vegas.
Yeah, Jackson Joy. Yeah. Will his cradle work now that people know it's coming? I'm interested to see that. And then Illinois and Cornell, just scrappy teams, right? You know, they don't really have Illinois' upperweights impressed me at collegiate duels. And so, you know, someone like Colin Kelly against Simon Ruiz.
Yeah.
I want to see where Kelly stands. And I want to see Simon Ruiz wrestle again, too, because we didn't get to see him in Vegas.
One unfortunate thing that we should mention, Mike Poeta, the head coach of Illinois, placed on administrative leave. Not a ton of information at this point in time. Sounds not good. It's certainly not good. Jeremy Hunter, the longtime assistant there, is the acting head coach for the time being. If we learn more about that situation, we'll share. But it broke today, and they wrestle on Sunday, so not sure how that will or won't impact the performance, but just worth noting. Also on Sunday, of course, we're going to talk about Iowa State versus Ohio State. That's a huge one. But Illinois also wrestling Lehigh, 157, Cannon Webster versus Rosinski. I think that's one of the matchups I'm most excited about, along with Max Brignola, 8 versus 9, Braden Scholes at 65.
Yeah, and I think, did we see this at Collegiate Duels, this duel?
I don't know. I don't believe so. It would have been on the backside, I guess.
I don't remember. It's maybe something we should have looked at before we did this.
Maybe
but,
so.
Yeah, you can let us know. Brignola's been tough. He's been a guy that's been really good over the last 2 years, right? And Scholes right there too. So you feel like this is like a round of 12 type of match.
Yeah.
You know, both these guys can be in All-American hunt this year at 65. So, but yeah, there's really good ranked matches throughout. I don't think we're gonna see Stanish. I was told outside chance. So we'll see. I don't think it's gonna happen though.
Outside chances are almost always no.
Yeah, no Ryan Crookham, but we should get to see Nathan Taylor. Nathan Taylor's back, and Taylor versus Luffman. Again, that's another like blood round type of match at the NCAA tournament between two big boys. So that could be a good one too.
Yeah, total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 ranked matchups in Illinois versus Lehigh. Cornell versus Illinois has 6. So most of the duel ranked versus ranked, and then you get to Iowa State versus Ohio State. These first 5 weights are just insane. Buzakis Poulin, Davino Frost, Mendez Echemendia, Styles Frost, and Zerban Cannon. Those are all top 10 matchups essentially, and there's some great matchups in the back half. But what stands out to you about that first half?
I think Buzakis Poulin is really interesting. The thing that makes me favor Buzakis is 4 o'clock time. 4 o'clock. Yeah, he's going to have a whole lot of time off the scale, and I think that's really important for him. And so that makes me think he's going to be clicking. And so I favor him in that match, but Steele's a tough out always. And so that will tell me a lot about Nick Buzakis.
Yeah, absolutely. Cannon Zerban was around the 12 match last year. Zerban winning. Well, if we don't see Zerban, here's one thing. The depth that Iowa State has allows them some flexibility. Zerban missed the Cliff Keen finals. We haven't seen him since. But they have Paniro Johnson. Paniro Johnson majored Brandon Cannon last year at 165.
It's so crazy.
They both had, Cannon and Paniro both had weird years last year. That's one of the examples of that. But they do have that option there at 57 if they want to use Paniro. Then on the back half, which matches stand out to you?
I think obviously Nick Feldman, Younger Bastida closing it out, right? Like that could be the match of the weekend.
Right.
You favor Younger, right? But I feel like we have seen a little bit of an improvement from Nick Feldman this year. Seen him against AJ Ferrari. Just the way that he's wrestling feels like a little bit more of the Nick Feldman than I expected last year.
Yeah.
He struggled a little against Trumbull. I feel like he might struggle to get to his offense against Younger. But it's a good test for Bastida too.
Yeah. I think for Iowa State to win this dual meet, they're underdogs. There's no two ways about it. But they've got to perform well in that first half.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State on paper is favored at 25, 33, 41, 49. So those first 4 weeks, they need some of those because Ohio State is bigger favorites, 65, 74, 84, and 97, or not 97. So they're going to need some slight upsets. They're really small upsets, but they're going to need them if they want to knock off a team as good as Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, Davino and Frost, right?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about that at all, but that's like
huge match.
Yeah, that's maybe one of the ones.
Number 2 versus number 3.
Yeah. And for Davino, I feel like every time he wrestles someone, you learn a little bit more about who he is.
Right.
And I feel like his stock has only gone up this year, and it has a chance to just kind of shoot even higher up if he gets a win against Frost. But also, if Frost gets that win, it's like, okay, well then he kind of falls back into the mix of everybody else. So it's a good one.
For sure. And then closing it out, Iowa State versus Lehigh, Sheldon Seymour versus Steve-O, Nathan Taylor versus Younger Bastida, 6 other ranked matchups, and what's going to be, for the weekend, there's probably close to 100 ranked matchups all in. You're not going to want to miss the Journeyman Collegiate duels. Going to be an amazing 2 days of wrestling getting started tomorrow, which is Saturday. Make sure you're on FloWrestling watching every match. We'll be there either commentating or doing interviews or something. Anything else before we go?
No, it's going to be a great weekend of wrestling. Potential for history. What more could you ask for a weekend of college wrestling right before Christmas?
That's right. Merry Christmas. Thanks.